Hello, beta. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next lecture. Beta, today I am going to go ahead and take a past year question based on the general equilibrium exchange economy. This is a Delhi University past year question, Delhi University May 2019 past year question. Try to read the question, beta. Try to see what it is saying. Dekho dhyan se. In a 2x2 pure exchange economy, initial endowments are given to you. But this is the initial endowment of individual A, 12, 12. And the initial endowment of individual B is given to you as 24, 0. Okay. Okay. Their utility function is given to you. But this is the utility function of individual A and utility function of individual B. Dono ka hi utility function is given to you. It says, first part dekho beta, it says find general equilibrium, price ratio and allocation. Okay, okay, good, easy enough question. Let us try to go ahead and let us try to make the Edgeworth box first. Solution. Beta, endowment of individual A is given to you as 12 units of X and 12 units of good Y, right? And endowment of individual B, that is given to you as 24 units of X and 0 units of good Y. So if I just add this together, I will get 36, 12. So if I were to go ahead and make an Edgeworth box, agar main ye Edgeworth box ko plot karu, how will I get the Edgeworth box, beta? The Edgeworth box will be something like this, that here I will have 36. Here I will be having 12. Right? Isn't it? So here I can say that this is 0. This is 12. This is 36. Beta, this is the origin of individual A. Right? And this is the origin of individual B. Many of you are still confused how to check the origin and how to calculate the bundle for individual A and B. तो बहुत ध्यान से देखो. When I start for individual A, जब मैं individual A की बात कर रही हूँ, so this is my origin. I will go like this and like this. Right? So if you realize the endowment bundle of individual A is 12, 12. तो बेटा if I just assume that यहाँ पे suppose 12 है, यहाँ पे 24 है, यहाँ पे 36 है, so 12, 12 means this. I will go 12 here and I will go 12 here. ये वाला जो point आएगा, this is going to be 12, 12 बेटा. And for individual B, its endowment bundle is 24, 0. So for individual B ना, I have to start from here. मेरे को यहाँ से शुरू करना होगा. So for individual B, this is 1 beta, this is 2. It is starting like this. इसको समझना बहुत जरूरी है. How to plot the Edgeworth box. Many of you are still confused with how to make the Edgeworth box. That itself is a very big doubt, है ना? तो बेटा individual B का ये 1 है, ये 2 है. So similarly यहाँ कहीं 12 आया होगा, 13, 14, 15, 16. यहाँ कहीं 24 आया होगा, right? So this is a common bundle. This is the endowment bundle for individual A and B. This itself represents 24, 0. यही bundle 24, 0 represent कर रहा है for individual B. And this itself represents 12, 12 for individual A. So try to understand the difference first. Is this clear? Is this endowment, how to plot the endowment bundle clear? Okay, beta. Now let us talk about individual A. Beta, individual A has the utility function given to you as UA is equal to 0.5 ln XA plus 0.5 ln YA. In the earlier semester, you must have studied earlier semester, earlier classes. You must have known by now that this, ये जो log function होता है, this utility function which looks like this, beta, This is just a monotonic transformation of a Cobb-Douglas function. माने, if you remember, I have already taught you that ln m to the power n can be written as n ln m. ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. So this beta can be rewritten as ln xa to the power 0.5, and this can be written as ln ya to the power 0.5. Right? Similarly, you must be aware that ln m plus ln n can be written as ln m into mn. So from here, you must be aware, beta, that I can rewrite this thing ln m plus n as ln xa to the power 0.5, ya to the power 0.5. Am I clear with this? Is this making sense to you? And now if you look into the utility function behind this, you will realize कि ये तो यही है. This is just Cobb-Douglas utility function. समझ रहे हो बात को? तो indirectly you have to be aware that this utility function of individual A is just well-defined preferences. अच्छा, इनका भी short form I have already taught you in class. I have already taught you that when you have these well-defined preferences, तो how you can find XA star and YA star. ये हमने पहले ही सीख लिया है. We have already learnt this. But if you want to go ahead and see, कुछ नहीं करना है. Individual A has well-defined preferences. जब भी ये वाला form आ जाए ना, x to the power alpha, y to the power beta, just know that for this individual, his IC looks like this. This is indifference curve of individual A. So from the point of view of individual A, he will consume at the point of tangency beta. He will consume at the point of tangency. ये बात clear हुई? So individual A will go ahead and consume at the point of tangency. अब बच्चे हम बात करेंगे इंडिविजुअल बी की. वी विल टॉक अबाउट इंडिविजुअल बी. पहले इंडिविजुअल बी को ना मैं ऐसे ही दिखा देती हूँ. सो आई विल जस्ट कीप ओरिजिन ऑफ बी हियर एंड ट्राई टू लुक एट द यूटिलिटी फंक्शन ऑफ इंडिविजुअल बी विच इज वाई बी. ध्यान से समझना इस बात को. यूटिलिटी फंक्शन ऑफ इंडिविजुअल बी बेटा, दैट इज वाई बी. This means that individual B is getting utility only from good Y. Individual B gets utility only from good Y. देखो, he is getting his utility only from good Y. So if individual B is getting his utility only from good Y, beta, we can say na that X के लिए he is a neutral individual. For him, X is a neutral good, right? And if X is a neutral good, so he is not affected by the consumption of X. देखो, अगर if I hold his utility constant at say 12, so if I just keep his utility at 12, I will get 12 is equal to YB. If I hold his utility at 14 beta, I will get 14 is equal to YB. If I hold his utility at 16 beta, I will get 16 is equal to YB. So utility of individual B is only from good Y. Good X का कोई काम ही नहीं है. So अगर उसको 1 unit का utility चाहिए, he will consume 1 unit. If he needs a utility of 2, he will consume 2 units. If he needs a utility of 3, he will consume 3 units of good Y. Nothing of good X. समझे? But try to understand now that I need to plot in a way that origin of B comes here. B का origin मुझे यहाँ पर चाहिए. So if I need the origin of B here now, which means that I need to go ahead and I need to somehow rotate this graph. Right? Making sense? So I need to somehow go ahead and I need to rotate this graph. So how can I rotate this graph? Beta, let's see. If I just show you, इधर अपने दिमाग में करना है एग्जाम में, but I am just going to show you like this. So I'm going to just rotate this once more. Rotate to the right and done. So try to see beta. If this is the origin of individual A now, अगर ये उसका origin है, तो his ICs will look like this. His ICs will look like this. ये हो जाएगा amount 1, 2, 3 and so on. And this is good X beta. Right? And this is his indifference curve. Am I clear with this? So indifference curve of individual A is this. And indifference curve of individual B is this. तो क्योंकि B को यूटिलिटी सिर्फ B की तरफ देखते हैं पहले. Let's try to look for B बेटा. बेटा देखो B is getting utility only from good Y. So now I will write a statement. Write it with me. Because individual B gets utility only from good Y. Therefore, he must spend all his income on good Y and not consume any unit of good X. समझो बेटा. When I am talking about individual B, जब हम individual B की बात कर रहे हैं, individual B is getting all his utility only from good Y. So if individual B gets all his utility only from good Y, अगर उसको utility मिल ही good Y से रही है, there is no reason he will consume good X. So he will spend all his income on good Y. But when I talk about individual A, जब हम individual A की बात करते हैं, he has well-defined preferences. So if he has well-defined preferences, he will consume both good X and good Y beta. तो A will consume both good X and good Y. A दोनों ही consume करेगा. But B will go ahead and consume only good Y. समझे बात को? Okay. Now, beta, can you tell me what is the budget line of B first? So it is going to be Px into X plus Py into Y is equal to income of B. समझे? Beta, this will be Px into X. अब he wants to consume 0 units of good X. ये हमने अभी claim किया है. So this will be 0 plus Py into Y is equal to income of the consumer. Beta, how can you find income of individual B? Individual B का income हम कैसे निकाल सकते हैं? Very simple. The income of individual B can be written as the value of his endowment. उसकी endowment की जो भी value है. Value of his endowment. Beta, what is his endowment bundle? Individual B का जो endowment bundle है ना, that is 24,0. So what will be the value of his endowment? 24 units of good X into price of good X, 0 units of good Y into price of good Y. So this will be 24 into PX. समझे? So the income of individual B, this is going to be 24 PX. है कि नहीं बेटा? And here I will put this only. So from here, beta, what will I get? I will get Py into YB is equal to 24 PX. Is equal to 24 PX. So from here, individual B कितने units Y की consume करेगा बेटा? 24 into PX by PY. ये बात clear हो गई? These questions are very important and they will take a lot of your time. So don't panic, right? You will have to spend approximately 20 to 25 minutes on this kind of question. It will take time. Nothing to panic because it will come for good amount of marks. I think it came for 15 marks. So it is going to be asked for a good amount of marks and it will take time. Okay, beta. So now what I can do now, let me think about individual A now. Beta, because I have already proved that individual A has well-defined preferences. So for individual A, he has typical indifference curve. So he will equate his MRS to price ratio. He will equate his MRS to price ratio. So beta, what is the utility function of A? It is 0.5 ln XA plus 0.5 ln YA. ठीक है जी. अच्छा. From here, beta, what will be his MRS? MRS will be MUX by MUY. So if I differentiate this function with respect to X beta, तो क्या मिलेगा? This will be 0.5 into 1 by XA. If I differentiate this with respect to Y beta, what will I get? 0.5 into 1 by YA. So 0.5 cancelled. YA by XA. YA by XA. Am I clear with this? Okay, beta. Now, what does equilibrium require for individual A? That individual A will go ahead and equate MRS to price ratio. MRS to price ratio. So MRS is YA by XA equal to PX by PY. Just a word different from the exam perspective. Beta, it is super hot in Delhi NCR, right? I think we are hitting 45 degrees nowadays. And your exams are there and you have to go and you have to give exams, whether it is your entrance exam, whether it is your end semester exam, all of you have to give some exam or the other. So it is my high suggestion and request to all of you to keep yourself hydrated. Even I forget to somehow take water on time, but it is very essential that as students, you keep yourself hydrated. As students, you make sure that you eat your meals on time so that you are well for your exam, right? The exam, usually I have seen, when I was a professor, I used to see many intelligent students falling ill at the last moment, right? And hampering their entrance exam or end sem exam just because they were so much into studies that they forgot to take care of themselves. So that should not happen. It is very essential that you also go ahead and keep yourself hydrated, take good adequate amount of sleep, make sure that you eat good food. Don't eat outside food, please, especially during exams and entrance exams and end sem exams. Don't go for outside food. It is my humble request to all of you, right? Okay, let's continue. So from here, I will get YA by XA is equal to PX by PY. Now, from the point of individual A beta, I will get YA into PY is equal to XA into PX. ये बहुत important property है of well-defined preferences of Cobb-Douglas codes. So Y into PY, beta, ये हो गया units of good Y into price of good Y. That means that this is the expenditure on good Y. Beta, units of good X into price of good X, that means this is expenditure on good X. So for Cobb-Douglas preferences, the expenditure on good Y and good X, they are equal. The expenditure on good Y and good X are equal to each other. ये बात clear है? Okay. So now what we need to go ahead and we need to do, beta, we need to write the budget line of individual A. And what will be his budget line? PX into X plus PY into Y is equal to income of individual A. But from our equilibrium, we have found out that PX into X is equal to PY into Y. Na? तो px into x की जगह पे I will just plug py into y plus py into y is equal to income of individual A. हर जगह A लगा दो. So 2py into y is equal to income of individual A. So you will go ahead and get income of individual A as, YA as m by 2py. m by 2py. Now, if you remember, कैसे निकाल सकते हैं हम income of individual A बेटा? Income of individual A can be found out from his endowment bundle. What was the endowment bundle of A? 12 units of good X, each at Px, plus 12 units of good Y, each at Py. यही तो था. So I will, instead of income of individual A, I will go ahead and put the value of its endowment. So I will get YA is equal to 12px plus 12py by 2py. Right? So this will give me 12 by 2 px by py plus 12 by 2 py by py. So this will give me 6 px by py plus 6. Now, beta, we have studied from the very beginning that markets must clear. And market कब clear करती है? Market clears whenever the demand of a good is equal to the supply of the good, right? And in this case, the demand of the good is what we have already found out, right? And the supply of the good is beta, the total amount of good Y that we have, right? The supply of good is total Y that we have. So we want to go ahead and say कि जितना individual A demand कर रहा है और जितना B demand कर रहा है, that must be equal to the total Y available in the market. And how much Y is available in the market, beta? That is the total endowment. तो अगर हम एक बारी चलें, the total Y available in the market is 12 units, right? The total Y available in the market is 12 units. तो बेटा अगर मैं अब यहाँ पे बोल दूं कि what individual A consumes plus B consumes, it should be equal to total supply, and supply is 12 units. So how much is A consuming, beta? A is consuming 6 px by py plus 6. How much is B consuming, beta? B is consuming 24 px by py. B is consuming 24 px by py. This should be equal to 12. So this 6 can go on the other side. So 30 px by py is equal to 6. So px by py will come as 6 by 30. That means 1 by 5. So this will come out to be your equilibrium price ratio. This will come out to be your equilibrium price ratio, which will be 1:5, right? Now what you can go ahead and do now, you just need to check whether market of good X clears. So beta, good X jo hai, who was demanding good X? Good X was only being demanded by individual A. B was not demanding any units of good X. So individual A का जो demand of good X है, if you just put it back, तो देखो यहाँ पे देखो, what is the amount of good X he will demand, बेटा? तो यहाँ से we know that XA will be YA into PY by PX. So XA will be YA into PY by PX. है ना? अच्छा, if my price ratio is 1:5, तो यहाँ पे क्या वैल्यू आ जाएगा बेटा? I will get 6 into 1 by 5 plus 6. That means I will get 6 plus 6 by 5. Right? और यहाँ पे क्या वैल्यू आ जाएगा बेटा? How much is individual B going to demand? तो ये हो जाएगा 24 into 1 by 5. That means that he will be demanding 6 units. He will be demanding 6 units, right? So 24 into px by py. Px by py is 1 by 5. So not 6. Sorry, it will be approximately 4 point something units. So this is going to be 4s are 20, 4.8 units, right? And this will turn out to be 6 plus 1.2, so 7.2 units, right? So now you can go ahead and you can just plug in this value here. So this will be YA. I have just got my YA as 7.2. And PY by PX I have got as 5. Ulta kar diya na, PY by PX will be 5. So quickly, let me just go ahead and calculate this. Give me a minute. So 7.2 into 5, this is going to be 36 units. So this is also correct that individual A is demanding all units of good X, क्योंकि good X individual B तो consume ही नहीं कर रहा था, and individual B is demanding only good Y in the market. So let me just go ahead and write the equilibrium bundle. So the equilibrium bundle is coming out as XA is coming out as 36, YA is coming out as 7.2, and for individual B, XB is coming out as 0, and YB is coming out as 4.8, and market is clearing, and your PX by PY ratio is coming out as 1 by 5. This is how you can go ahead and you can solve your question. Right? This is how you can go ahead and solve your question. Okay, beta. So this is it that I wanted to go ahead and discuss today. I will stop the session here for today. I hope that you found this question useful. Please try to practice all such questions which I have posted on the portal. I think I have given you a lot of questions on the portal. Substitute good and complements, combination, substitute with substitute combination, Cobb-Douglas with Cobb-Douglas combination. Try to practice all those questions better. Okay, thank you.